Every single day, 10,000 Americans retire. They cash out their final paycheck, clear out their desk, and walk into what they were promised would be the best years of their lives. Years of freedom, years of rest, years they had been working toward for 3, 4, sometimes 5 decades. But something is going wrong. And it is going wrong for millions of people. Studies and financial reports from across the country are revealing a disturbing pattern. A large number of American retirees are running out of money. Not in 30 years, not even in 20. Many are hitting a financial wall within the first 7 years of retirement. 7 years, after a lifetime of working, after decades of saving, after doing everything they were told to do. How does this happen? And more importantly, how do you make sure it does not happen to you? That is exactly what this video is about. We are going to walk through the real reasons American retirement savings are running out faster than expected, the specific traps that most people never see coming, and what the retirees who are thriving financially are doing differently. Whether you are already retired, approaching retirement, or helping a parent through it, this information matters. Let us get into it. To TH4FD, the 7-year pattern, financial researchers and retirement specialists have been tracking a troubling trend for years now. Retirees who enter their post-work life with what appears to be a solid financial foundation are finding themselves in serious trouble far earlier than their projections show. The average American retires with somewhere between $200,000 and $400,000 saved. That sounds like a significant amount of money. And on paper, if you run the numbers at face value, it should last. But the reality on the ground tells a very different story. The problem is not that people are spending recklessly. The problem is a combination of factors that most people never fully account for when they picture their retirement years. These factors stack on top of each other. And by year 7, the damage is done. Let us go through each one. 2H Care Coast Trap. The single biggest financial shock that hits American retirees is healthcare. This is the expense that absolutely blindsides more people than any other. Most working Americans have employer-sponsored health insurance. They pay a manageable monthly premium, maybe a small copay here and there, and largely do not think about it. Then they retire, and the landscape changes completely. If you retire before you turn 65 and qualify for Medicare, you are responsible for your own health insurance in the gap years. Private insurance for someone in their early 60s can run anywhere from $800 to over $1,500 per month. For a couple, that can exceed $3,000 a month before a single doctor's visit. But even after Medicare kicks in at 65, the costs do not stop. There are premiums for Part B and Part D. There are deductibles. There are copays. There is the massive gap in prescription drug coverage that catches people off guard. And most critically, Medicare does not cover long-term care. Assisted living, nursing home costs, home health aides, none of that is covered. The numbers on this are staggering. Research from Fidelity has consistently estimated that the average retired American couple will need somewhere in the range of $300,000 just to cover healthcare expenses throughout retirement. $300,000. On top of housing, food, transportation, and everything else. Most people do not have $300,000 sitting in a separate healthcare fund. So that cost comes directly out of retirement savings. And it comes faster and harder than most people ever anticipated. In inflation, the silent savings killer. The second trap is inflation. And it is especially dangerous because it works slowly and invisibly until the damage is already done. When most people build their retirement projections, they anchor their thinking to current prices. They think about what groceries cost today, what their utility bills are today, what a tank of gas runs today, and they calculate how much money they will need based on those current numbers. But prices do not stay still. They never have. Over the course of a 20-year retirement, even a modest average inflation rate of 3% will cause prices to nearly double. The groceries that cost you $500 a month in your first year of retirement will cost you close to $900 a month by year 20. This means your money is constantly losing purchasing power. A fixed retirement income that feels comfortable in year 1 starts feeling tighter in year 5. By year 10, many retirees are genuinely struggling to cover the same lifestyle they started with, even if their account balance looks similar on paper. The retirees who planned only for today's prices find themselves in real trouble as the years pass, and most Americans do not adequately inflation-proof their retirement income. 2000. Social Security mistakes. Social Security is the financial backbone of retirement for tens of millions of Americans, and it is also one of the most misunderstood programs in the country. The single most common and costly Social Security mistake is claiming benefits too early. You can begin collecting Social Security as early as age 62, and millions of Americans do exactly that, eager to start receiving their checks as soon as possible. But here is what most people do not fully understand. When you claim at 62, your monthly benefit is permanently reduced, not temporarily reduced. Permanently, compared to waiting until your full retirement age, which is currently 67 for most people. Claiming at 62 can cut your monthly benefit by as much as 30%. And if you wait even longer, until age 70, your benefit grows by approximately 8% for every year you delay past full retirement age. That means someone who waits until 70 can receive a benefit that is 77% higher than someone who claimed at 62, 77%, every single month, for the rest of their life. For a retiree who lives into their mid-80s or beyond, which is increasingly common, that difference in monthly income adds up to hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. But the pressure to claim early, whether from financial need or simply impatience, leads most Americans to make a decision that permanently shrinks one of their most valuable retirement assets. Lifestyle creep in retirement. Here is one that surprises people. Retirement, especially in the early years, tends to cost more than people expect, not less. Think about what retirement actually looks like when it starts. You have more free time than you have had in decades. You are healthy enough and energetic enough to travel, to eat out, to pursue hobbies, to visit family. The early years of retirement for many people look less like quiet rest and more like an extended, active adventure. Financial researchers have a term for this period. They call it the go-go years. And during the go-go years, spending often spikes. Retirees take the trips they always postponed. They renovate the house they finally have time to enjoy. They pick up new hobbies that come with equipment costs. Studies have found that household spending in the first 2 years of retirement often increases by 15 to 20% compared to the final working years. That is the opposite of what most people budget for. Many retirees build their financial plans around the assumption that they will spend less once they stop working. They eliminate the commuting costs, the work wardrobe, the lunches out. But what they do not account for is that all that free time gets filled, and filling it costs money. By the time spending naturally slows down in the later, quieter years of retirement, the damage to the savings account has often already been done. What the financially secure retirees do differently. Now let us talk about what actually works. Because there are retirees who are not running out of money, there are people who are financially secure well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. And they tend to share a set of specific habits and decisions. The first thing they do is diversify their income. They do not rely on one single source of retirement funding. They have Social Security, and they typically waited to claim it at the optimal time. They have investment income. Many have a pension or annuity that guarantees a monthly payment regardless of market conditions. And many have some form of part-time income, whether from consulting in their old field, renting out a property, or running a small business they enjoy. Multiple income streams create resilience. When one source dips, the others hold. When markets are volatile, guaranteed income fills the gap. The second thing they do is plan specifically for healthcare. They have a dedicated health savings strategy. They understand their Medicare options thoroughly and choose their supplemental coverage carefully. And they have either purchased long-term care insurance or set aside a specific fund for potential care needs down the road. The third thing is that they treat inflation as a real and ongoing threat. Their investment portfolios are structured to grow at a rate that outpaces inflation. They do not park all their money in savings accounts or low-yield instruments just because they are retired. They keep a portion of their portfolio in assets that grow over time. And the fourth thing is that they revisit their financial plan regularly, not once when they retire and never again. They check in with a financial advisor, review their spending against their projections, and adjust as life changes. Retirement is not a static phase. Life evolves, health changes, markets shift. The retirees who stay financially secure are the ones who pay attention and adapt. Practical steps you can take right now. If you are approaching retirement or already in it, here are the most important steps you can take to protect yourself. First, if you have not yet claimed Social Security and you have the financial ability to wait, consider the long-term math carefully before you make a decision. Every year you delay past 62 increases your benefit. Work with a financial advisor who can run the break-even analysis for your specific situation. Second, get completely clear on your true healthcare costs. Do not guess. Call Medicare. Speak with an insurance broker who specializes in retirement healthcare. Understand exactly what you will be paying and what will and will not be covered. Then build that number into your actual budget. Third, build an honest spending plan for the early years of retirement. Do not assume you will automatically spend less. Give yourself a realistic budget that accounts for travel, hobbies, and the active lifestyle that early retirement often brings, while still protecting your long-term savings. Fourth, if your retirement income relies entirely on one source, whether that is Social Security, a pension, or a single investment account, look at what it would take to add even one more income stream. Even a modest additional source of income can dramatically extend how long your money lasts. And fifth, talk to a fee-only financial advisor. Not someone who earns commissions on products they sell you. A fee-only advisor who is paid directly for their advice and whose only incentive is to give you guidance that actually serves your interests. The retirement money crisis in America is real. It is affecting millions of people who worked hard, saved diligently, and still found themselves financially vulnerable far earlier than they ever expected. But it is not inevitable. The traps are identifiable, the mistakes are avoidable, and the strategies that protect retirement savings are not complicated. They just require awareness, planning, and a willingness to look at the full picture honestly. That is what this channel is here for. Retirement Plans exists to give you the real information about retirement in America, the things that actually matter for your financial security and your quality of life. If this video gave you something valuable, subscribe so you never miss one. New videos come out every week, covering the financial realities, the planning strategies, and the real stories of retirement in America today. We will see you in the next one.